Good morning, grade fives. I know it's interesting to be taught seeing me at home at your house and for you to be in my home, but we're going to try little mini lessons and hopefully that'll help you with your understanding. For math, what I thought we'd do is we would start focusing on fractions. We haven't done that, any of those type of lessons so far. So today we're going to talk about fractions, and when we talk about fractions, what I want you to think about is what is a fraction. And when you think about that, fractions are parts of wholes. So we take something, an entire thing, and we cut it up into pieces, and those pieces end up being fractions. So our topic is fractions. And I gave you two keywords, and your keywords are part and whole. So if I have a whole piece of celery and I cut it into parts, and I talked to you about the key word in that is equal. So if I take that piece of celery and I cut it into two equal parts, and if I offered you a piece, you'd say I was offering you one of the two equal parts, or you'd say I was offering you half of the piece of celery, of the entire piece. So when we put that into a fraction, we put how much I was offering you, or how many pieces I was offering you. That goes on the top. And on the bottom, it means how many, if I put them all together, how many makes up that entire whole. So there are two that make up the entire whole. So the one on the top is the part and of the whole. So how many pieces could there be? So if I took that same piece of celery and I cut each half into half, can you zoom in on different things? If I put it all together, how many pieces are there in that whole piece? When I glue them all together, I end up with four pieces. So there'd be four in that. So that's the whole, how much in the entire part. And then if I was saying how much am I offering you, I might offer you just one piece, or I might offer you two pieces, or I might offer you three pieces. So if I offered you the one piece, the part would go on the top. I was offering you one out of the four. And another way we might say that is 1/4 or 1/4. Another way, and hopefully all of this is review for you. If I offered you two, well, two out of what? It's kind of like a test. How many questions could you have gotten right? Well, if I answered them all, it would be 4, but if I only got 2, it would be 2 out of 4. So the part that we're talking about goes on the top, and how many is in the entire section goes on the bottom. Okay? If I offered you 3, it would be 3/4. And then often the tricky one that people get confused with is when you're offered all 4 pieces. So that's 4 out of 4. And if you were thinking of a test, that would mean that you got perfect, because that would mean that you got all of them right. Or a whole, you got your whole test right, okay? Or you might say 1 whole. So that's the same as 1 whole, or 1 whole piece of celery. So hopefully that's all a review for you. What also should be a review is when we talk about the numbers, the number on top, the 1 in this case, the 2, the 3, or the 4, those are called, I told you part, but the math word for that is numerator. And the number on the bottom, or the whole amount, is denominator. for any of you that are practicing your spelling at home, those are 2 key words that you could use for your spelling test this week. So that's a little review. I'll be giving you another little test later. I could do another one if I did the banana and I cut it into, what have I just created? How many pieces for the whole? 2. And when I put it together, I get 1 banana. I'm just going to cut off the end. So that will be 1 out of 2 pieces. If I cut each of the bananas, so how many pieces, can you zoom in? How many pieces in the entire banana? There are 6, so that would be my denominator. That's what goes on the bottom, and the top number is always what we're talking about. So if I were talking about this many, it would be 3 out of 6. If I were counting them, I would say 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6, or the entire being 1 whole. So practice a few things before I chat with you again. What's a numerator? What's a denominator? What's part? What's whole? And you can also start practicing counting by fractions. So I'll see you soon.